4, when I was participating in a storytelling competition in kindergarten. I was too scared to even say a word on the stage. I was shaking and sweating. My face turned red, my heart skipped a beat, and I ended up saying nothing. I was too scared to look into my parents' eyes. I imagined the storm was on its way, and I'd be blamed like a child who made that terrible mistake, because I thought I failed my parents' expectations. However, to my great surprise, my parents didn't say anything. They didn't blame me or encourage me to do better next time. They just didn't mention it. I was actually confused why they didn't get mad at me due to the perfection standard that a lot of parents have in relation to school. But I was my happy self again. As I grew up, I totally forgot about that moment until my mom mentioned it when we were talking about the parents' expectations. I was 15 that year, and she recalled the story with a big smile on her face and answered a question that was hidden for 10 years. She said, "It really doesn't matter. Nobody's perfect. You are allowed to fail. You will always find your own way to grow up." I saw the light that shone in my mom's eyes at that moment, like a spark in the dark night sky, which totally changed the way I look at failure. Everyone is allowed to fail and find their own paths. Never be afraid of failing. My name is Amy Ni, and I'm here to talk about the necessity of failure within the education process. So when I came to Northbrow and got involved in the entrepreneurial study class, it actually reinforced my perspective on failure and inspired me more about the meaning of education, that education needs room for real failure because it is the only way for students to pursue their passions and become unique adults. So why I'm talking about that? Let me tell you one of my stories in this class. So my partner and I decided to make a sustainable straw product, and we want to grow it as our business. It's basically a straw that can be separated and open, and you can clean the inside. We love this idea so much, and we want to make it as a real product as soon as we could. So we tried, and we made different models. The first one, we made a paper model of it. It looked so nice. It looked exactly what we want for the real straw. But it's a paper model, so we definitely couldn't use that. So we failed. The second one, we put so much effort in it. It was our first 3D model. We made the gap between the two parts too small, which didn't work for us. So we failed again, and we cried. The third one, we made the gap between the two parts much bigger than last time. We made the 3D model file wrong, so the two parts still could not be connected. We failed again, and we cried again. But we move on to the fourth and fifth one really quickly. So these two, our plan A and plan B. Obviously, we made them work, and we tried to use that as our prototypes and show it to the manufacturer. But they told us that the real size of the straw is too small to make these techniques happen. At that time, we were almost about to fight with them and said, "That's your machine's problem." We couldn't, and the truth is, we failed again. But this time, we didn't cry. Instead, we thought about it calmly and tried to reflect. After 5 times of failure and restart, it seems like there's no way to keep this idea still working. Well, now it may be the biggest and worst failure for us, that we may have to restart a new idea. No straw idea anymore. But that's not what we want. We love this idea. So we brainstormed for the whole night. I remember we were sitting in the little room staring at each other. I'm kidding. We were redesigning our diagrams, fixing the 3D model files, and comparing all the models we had on the table, and tried anything we could to connect the two parts. We just kept trying and failed, trying and failed, trying and failed, until that magical moment. We got it. We found a new way to connect the straw. We finally had our first celebration. We still cried. It's not a good choice, but I guess it's a way for celebration. We made this as our first prototype and held this little metal straw in our hand and felt the weight of it, how real it is. By the way, it's actually heavy. If we looked back on all these experiences of failure we had and saw how we grew up quickly and motivated ourselves to pursue our own passion, the thing we really truly love. And we became stronger without any doubt. So failure shouldn't be a scary thing for students. I want to say that to my younger self, to that little girl waiting for her parents' blame after that failure. Education right now is about perfection, but it shouldn't be. How I grew up, what my parents told me, and what I experienced in the entrepreneurial study class all prove that education should allow students to fail. In that way, they will find their own path to pursue their dream and find their possibilities in the future. And that is the real power and meaning of education. It is to help you grow in your own way, let you feel in the progress, and inspire you to explore your new possibilities. And education should include failure, and every student should have their own experiences of failure which make them unique. That's why I want to be an educator in the future and tell everyone that you are allowed to fail, and you need to fail in the education process. Thank you.